Talking about $1.1 trillion to help the world.
Yeah.
Where is that coming from?
Yeah, they're going to pledge it. Like the pledges that we're going to get help in Afghanistan, the pledges that they were going to help rebuild, Iraq. Those are pledges that never actually happened because, they don't have any money. It's like the pledge that Mr. Obama made that we're going to cover the warranties on all the cars, and that the pledge that the General Motors has that we're going to cover your car costs for 9 months to 2 years. Said everybody's broke. You don't have the money to pay to do any of that stuff.
Oh, wait a minute. They did have $250 billion of support for trade finance and to use additional resources from the agreed IMF, the International Monetary Fund.
That's where they're putting
gold cells for concessional finance for the poorest countries.
They don't have any money. If you don't have any money, I'll give you another example of nobody has any money. One of the major reporters in this country, they talk in this morning, he went out to buy a house. Him and his wife have a 6-figure income. They lease a home right now because they've been saving to buy. They couldn't get financing, not owing anything. And he sort of giving the idea that they're not selling homes.
Yeah. Now, okay. Here they said they've agreed to increase the resources available to the IMF through immediate financing from members of $250 billion, subsequently incorporated into expanded. Does this sound like legal? This sounds like gobbledygook.
It was written by a lawyer. What is Mr. Obama and most of the people around him? This is campaign speech.
Well, usually when they write these, it is kind of legal.
Mr. Obama pledged in his stimulus package that this was what he was going to do.
Oh, resisting protectionism. That could be kind of juicy. Okay, here's your first part right there.
I know, but we already know Mr. Obama. He's going to put tariffs all over the bloody world.
I know, but it says we will minimize any negative impact on trade and investment of our domestic policy actions, including fiscal policy. Right? Now, if any of this, it does sound like this, doesn't it? Because he'll say one thing, and then you're seeing all the actions.
We had the Obama flip-flop and BS, but it was.
Oh, maybe. Wait.
Remember, it says, we reaffirm the commitment made in Washington to refrain from raising new barriers.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, and they've already done it.
They didn't say in the United States, he said in Washington.
Yeah. But we started a trade war with Canada, we started a trade war with China, we started a trade war with Mexico. That's called, raising trade barriers.
Okay. Delivering our commitments, we have committed ourselves to work together with urgency and determination to translate these words into action.
It's legal gobbledygook.
Because before they went over there, wasn't Obama, he was trying to get everybody else to spend more money.
They wanted to spend and tax.
Yeah.
But the Chancellor of Germany, before he ever got there, said, we have already taxed our great-grandchildren. And they're not even born yet. We can't tax the ones that may never be born now.
See, actually, this probably doesn't surprise you. It is kind of surprising to me because
well, I've been around a long time. I also, my diploma in journalism actually came from the speech department. We were required to take semantics because they wanted to teach you how to be able to tell somebody a bold-faced lie when you wrote and not get and not be sued for it. In journalism, it's all about how you say something. If you say it wrong, they can go to court against you. If you tell the truth, they can go to court against you. But if you phrase it in like a nice package, basically semantics. We had Senator Hayakawa from California. At one time, was one of the greatest teachers of semantics in the world. He could twist a word like you do not believe. This is what lawyers do.
That's why you're so used to seeing that. And actually you're good at reading through all that stuff.
Yeah, but if I look at it real carefully, I see it's Obama's campaign speech.
Oh my gosh.
All they did was
You know what? Wouldn't that be fun to Twitter them over there and tell them?
Yeah, people should go look at this. I mean, this is obviously, all they did was they took one of his speeches and rewrote it. And then they said, okay, we don't mean anything, so this will be our statement. Their statements are totally irrelevant when they give them. Back when
it's just normally they are kind of.
Yeah.
But even though since it references Washington, it doesn't reference. you know,
I know.
the United States. It says Washington.
Yeah, which means that he's leaving it
London,
up.
Moscow.
Well, I know, because it doesn't say, you know, basically it should be the world. You know, but you got to remember too that Mr. Obama no longer considers. If you read carefully the things that Mr. Obama has said. Great Britain is no longer our greatest ally.
Why?
Because he's trying to align himself with the Soviet Union.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
I know, and Britain's been our ally for a really long time.
You have to go look at the press packet for the G20 because it's unbelievable. You know, the change. You know, he's taken a total change in a new direction in our country because he wants to stop being confrontational and divisive like George Bush was. And I can guarantee you too, from what all the press in Europe are saying, that we understood George Bush because George Bush did all our heavy lifting for us. We could be angry at him, but we had to go along because then we didn't have to spend money, we didn't have to fight. Mm-hmm. But under Obama basically, they've already seen that he can't be worked with, mm-hmm. and that he simply is not pragmatic, and that he has an ideology that they don't possess anymore. They went by that when they went bankrupt. Oh. So he scares them far more than Bush. Oh. So, and the only reason that he's getting all the attention, I mean, they said, every reporter everywhere said that it's the fact that they've never seen a black man with that much power.
What, they're fascinated by him.
They're fascinated by him. I mean, okay, Michelle Obama is an ungodly travesty in the clothes that she picks to wear. And yet they say that she's setting an example for first ladies that will be impossible to beat, and that she is the greatest first lady our nation is. Her style, her buffed up body, you know,
yeah, but protocol.
and her clothes.
Protocol, typically.
Well, I know, but this is...
See, this is the State Department, U.S. government. There's very much protocol.
It's all protocol, but I mean, like, you know, the global... I love that. Still, the Global Plan for Recovery and Reform is a campaign statement by Obama. Well, because, see, one of the things that I do is, Notaspringchick, for instance, we do have a separation thing. We both are editors, but she tends to edit all of the interviews.
Right.
I tend to do all of the...
You do more of the hard news.
I do the hard news. I go through...
I'll do some, but he does a lot of the hard news.
I'll go through an ungodly amount of newspapers, magazines, and stuff, looking for headlines and things, which means I go through this stuff by the tons, you know, every day, because that's my job in this business, is to be the editorial editor. So, and I will see this, and then, because, you know, I can absolutely guarantee that even though I sometimes look, I'm borderline. Okay, when I was young, they called Alzheimer's disease just getting old. So, even though at times I have a problem trying to remember, you know, what name I'm looking for my email under, I still have a photographic memory. Everything that I see is stuck up there. So when I see something, we start from the belief that prosperity is individual, that growth must sustain and stuff. I know that that's just from one of his, that's from his budget, his budget package. That's directly out of it, saying that his program, his budget, cannot be separated from the prosperity and the growth of our country.
Oh gosh, that sounds like
yeah.
You know how they're trying to pass it? What's the, I'm trying to think of the term. It's too important to fail.
It's too important to fail.
You know how they're trying to pass it, the budget?
The reconciliation.
Doesn't that remind you of that?
Yeah, basically they're telling you, you have to do this, because this is from Obama. He's telling the world in this statement that you have to do what I want you to do. It's important not to be done. And then they just ignore him. So he's finding out that, okay, I've been around, like I said, I started into my, you know, how old am I? You know, in 1 year, actually, 1 year. I started into my 8th decade, folks. So you want to know how old I am? I start my 8th decade in another year. But I've seen the Europeans at work since World War II.